Good evening and welcome to Hot Topics from the Soul. I'm your host, Dr. Valerie Parker-Hagan, and I have my co-host.
Well, good evening, and how are you on this last Tuesday in this month, Women Empowerment Month, and what a month it has been. Spring is
Indeed.
in, and we're ready to go forward.
Indeed, Dr. J. I'm so excited about our next guest. She has a product called Sauce, and I'm telling you, Alex absolutely loves it. She had to reship him some bottles of that
Oh
sauce.
my God! You mean say she got Alex endorsement?
Yeah,
Okay,
she
it
got
must be off
Alex
the chain.
endorsement. And he had been going through some issues with this sugar and everything. And he was
Right,
like, I wonder if I'm gonna be able to keep using this sauce. And I said, well, look at the ingredients. And so he looked at the bottle, he said, yep, I can use it. So he
wow.
was so excited about that. So I guess Michaan Brown-Cross is going to be joining us and sharing with us about her new product that she has. And I'm so excited about this because one of the things I like to do, Dr. J, is encourage entrepreneurs. And this is Woman Empowerment Month. And I have
Yes.
Michaan here with us. Hello.
All righty.
Hello, how are y'all?
Great.
I am
Welcome.
awesome.
Thank you. I'm glad to hear that.
I am so excited about you being an entrepreneur, being young, and this dispensation that we're in. We have so many individuals that want to start a business, but then are hesitant because of the fact that they're afraid of failure. What can you say to individuals that are trying to do a business, but that fear overtakes them?
One, I want to first say thank you for calling me young. I appreciate that. Um, but
You
in
are, you
reference,
could be my baby. So yes, you're young.
thank you. I am a child, y'all. With that being said, I am operating in faith currently. I am doing everything scared currently. So, to people who are scared or in fear, do it anyway. Get some positive people around you, get your affirmations. And for me, I'm that type of person. I recognize what the problem is. And once I recognize what the that. So whatever it is that you want to do it anyway and do it by faith, do it without knowing. And if you can read and comprehend, go ahead and still do it anyhow. I am doing it anyhow. So that's what I would say to anyone because I am living proof. I fell into entrepreneurship by accident. So uh
What
do
does
it
that
anyhow.
look like? Now tell us about Sauce.
Sauce, there's only two sauces. That's one. This is my special edition bottle with my grandfather on it, Mr. Brown.
Who's
So
your grandfather?
Mr. Les Brown, motivational speaker.
Okay.
So it was his idea and it was my way of honoring him for helping me through a tough time. For his birthday, we have special edition bottles, the greatness edition bottles. So we have two sauces, which is this is Thing sauce, heavy on the Thing sauce is sweet and savory. It has a little smoky feel at the end, and it's a flavorful thing. And I mean it. You could put it on everything from breakfast to lunch to snacks, everything in between. Okay. And then we have amped up sauce. I like to call it YouTube hands. And that's for people who like a little kick. It's like a lemon pepper and a buffalo wing had a baby, and they have like little Asian notes in the back.
Okay.
That's people's favorite. It's really good on chips, chicken, and shrimp and fish. People really love it on seafood.
Oh, okay. Well, I know Alex likes the everything sauce.
Yes,
He absolutely put it on everything. And I was
yes,
like, why are you using on that? And he was like, babe, you should just really try it.
yes,
So it is very tasty and it does give it a little zest to it.
yes.
So how did you decide that you wanted to come into this type of business?
Uh, it it took a lot of failure first. I did a lot of things and it did not work through. But during the pandemic, I started a little garden And I was just in the kitchen tasting stuff and mixing things together, making egg rolls, making my husband be my taste tester. And it was, when I say it was a happy accident, I was giving the bottles away. And my family and friends were like, nah. And they were actually started to pay me for it. And it grew from there. And of course, my grandpa gave me the biggest push. He I did an impromptu pop-up shop at one of his speaking training, and it sold out quickly. And I've been hitting the ground running ever since.
So you started gardening first,
Yes.
and that's how you decided to put these components together to create the sauce.
Yes, I was just I call it trial and error. I started growing bell peppers and I was excited. So start just
So what made
blooming.
you go into gardening? Was it for therapy? Was it because it's something you always wanted to do?
Because my grandma, she did it and it's always something I always wanted to do. And I'm also cheap and I got tired of going back and forth to the grocery store. So I started a little garden to for all the ingredients that I use on a regular basis, like onions and bell peppers.
Okay. So how hard was it for you to actually, find the bottles, the packaging for it, the labels?
Out of
I
everything,
know you said your grandfather is Les Brown, but I know you and you were doing a lot of things independently, very independent.
super. I will I always joke and say I do it all by myself, but that's not true. I my husband, my taste testers, my sisters, my dad, they were there to taste test to tell me what worked, what didn't work. Uh, for the things I did not know, I read. So what was the hardest about it was the labels. I learned that labels have to be FDA approved. I went through several different labels between designing them myself and actually getting help. So I am the product of a village. I don't believe in independency. I'm a baby. I need help. So I had a village, and what I didn't know, I read. I asked.
Okay. And that's one of the things that individuals fail to do when they want to start a business. They think everything is instant,
Mhm.
if they put it out there, somebody's just going to buy it, but it's not the case. How hard was it for you not to give up?
Uh, it was it was super hard, but my why was more important
Tell us about
because
the why.
the why is I didn't want anyone controlling my money anymore. I have a vision for what I want for my life, and my life, I want to be comfortable. I want to own my own time. A life of, I always say I want a life of privilege, and I do.
Yes.
So that's what keeps me going, to be able to eventually take care of my dad and my family, and that's what I want to do. I want my time.
Hmm. Time is definitely important, but how much time did you have to dedicate for this business to get off the ground?
This is 3 years worth of work, y'all.
Mm.
3 years worth of work. Two, maybe two or three bottle changes. The texture of the sauce has changed. This is 3 years worth of work. So
That's
that's what
awesome.
I. Mhm.
That's awesome because I know people will start, especially when it comes down to food products, they will start. And then if it doesn't get off the ground or if they run into some obstacles, they like, oh, I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to try and do something else. And then they never get back up again.
Mhm.
So, how important was it for you to do this for our women that are listening? Because this is Women Empowerment Month, where we want to keep women empowered and inspired to do and live their best life.
Uh, I'm gonna. That's a good question. I think for me and anybody, I have a dry erase board in my living room and our vision board, and I keep that up to remind me when I'm passing by, my eyes naturally go to it. If it's something that you see every day, you say every day, you speak on it every day, it really is determined. My thing is, if I'm waking up to a life that I didn't envision, I need to continue to work until I get to that life, and that's what keeps me going.
That's awesome. I know Dr. J has a lot of questions for you, so I'm bringing him in here.
Well, I first of all, I'm impressed because so often we don't get to see people start from the ground up. And it
Hmm.
sounded like to me, in the midst of what was an inconvenient, it became the most convenient time for you to try something new. And
Yes.
in trying that something new, it's almost like, and you used the word earlier, trial and error. Well, I think that trial and error happened to be the blueprint to success, and that you was willing to go on trial and make the errors and continue until you have gotten to the place that you have perfected it. Now it's better than it was 3 years ago. It's better than it was 2 years ago. Now you have the bottle, looks absolutely fantastic, totally
Thank you.
professional looking. I'm going to have to get the error man, whatever you call it, sauce there. You know, the fact
Everything.
yeah, I need to check
Everything.
it out myself. But one of my questions is this, because I've seen people as well, have great ideas. They go as far as getting jars, and they go to do it once or twice, and they get tripped up by the label.
Um,
They never can get past the label, or they can never get past the point of how do I make sure that I have the same quantity, the same ingredients? How do I keep it the fidelity of my product? And for some that overwhelms. For you mentioned a lot about your vision for yourself,
mhm.
what you see yourself doing, what you aspire to do. Is that the thing that cancel out the negativity for you? Is remembering what you want to do and what your as you say your why is? Is that what helped you rise above the naysayers, the obstacles, the difficulties?
Yes. I still work a 9 to 5,
Mhm.
so I clock in, and although I appreciate my job, I it's not what I want to do.
Right.
And yeah, and that's what keeps me going. Um, if the real me is just I'm just, when I say I am operating in faith, this is not me, this is somebody else. So uh I am determined because, again, if I'm not waking up to the life I've envisioned, that means there's more work to do. So that's what your why will keep you going. Your why will keep the negative thoughts out. Of course, take a breath and breathe in and breathe out. But if I don't know something, I'm gonna ask, and I'm gonna have patience. It also has helped me with my patience a lot, because yeah.
Absolutely.
So
Now, one of the things that you said that I thought was important, that you said that you went to your uncle's event and you was able at a pop-up event and you sold out inside of that. Have you had the opportunity to showcase this sauce at other places, other venues? I know that sometimes it takes a little bit to be able to get it in a supermarket and all that. I'm quite sure they have to go through all this, FDA this, FDA that, and the
mhm.
other. But have you considered this in part of partnering with the catering? Someone who's catering food, as some type of package or some type of a la carte, because it sounds like to me the more people that it gets in the hands of, that becomes your biggest advertisement.
Yes. So on weekends, my husband and I, we go to different events. We go to farmers markets. We have been reaching out to the local chefs. I'm located in Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay.
So I have been sending bottles out, reaching out to influencers. So that's what the process is currently, because I could actually go to Publix right now, but there's a difference between me asking them and them asking me. So we want the level. So we're doing the uh, word of mouth, because that's the best form of advertising. As far, and also we're doing advertising. We have content up, so that's what we're doing right now.
Awesome. So inside of your drive to continue to do this, uh, these are your three signature sauces at this time. And inside of promote it and thing, uh, would you say, because I'm going to ask a question, we've seen all kind of different barbecue sauce and things like this, but would you categorize this as a type of barbecue sauce, or is it that and more? Is it something totally different?
It's something totally different. It's something you have not tasted before. So I would categorize this as a marinade dipping sauce. So put it in the same boat as, when you go get your chicken nuggets and you want honey mustard and ranch.
Hmm.
Now you're going to be like, I had my chicken nugget with my chicken nuggets or with my French fries. This is your I always say your new favorite sauce provider. So our motto is never limit your sauce. You can use it as a dipping sauce, but you can also uh, use it as a marinade. Put it in your fried chicken, or if you're a vegan, it's vegan friendly. You can put it on grilled vegetables. It's really good. It's really good on fish. Never limit your sauce.
Wow. Wow. That is testimonial. When I was hearing Dr. Val talk about Alex, reading the ingredients and going, yes, it'll work for him. I'm going to say ditto for me. If it worked for him, it'll work for me in terms of that, because those of us that are, trying to control and remain healthy in certain areas, a lot of time we are limited, on what we can have, because either it has too much of this and too much of that, and it causes our blood pressure to go up. But we are very, I'm excited about it. And I'm excited about it. And definitely, I thought about the whole farmers market, the different vendors. We have here what we call a lot of pop-up things that goes on. And what a
Mhm.
way to get it out. And the fact that you were willing to take it from just an idea to a fruition is to be applauded. So I definitely say kudos to you. Congratulations. Let's
Thank
get it
you.
out there. I know we have your website, and so people can order
M
from
Yes.
your.
sauce. They got to go there and order, because of the fact that, I like the fact that you have natural product. It's a natural product. You said you started gardening, and those are where the ingredients mainly came from. So that's a good plus for a lot of individuals. Not a lot of natural, all unnatural stuff, as I should say, going into the product.
Yes, ma'am. We did get it tested in the lab, so we have shelf life. It can be refrigerator. It doesn't have to be. Our everything sauce is 5 calories, and our amped up sauce is 0 calories. It's not
Wow.
salty. It's not over salty. Actually, I don't have. So let me look at it with my eyes. Sodium only 1% as far as salt is concerned. Zero trans fats. So I when I make things, food is love to me. So I think about my dad, I think about my grandpa, my husband. They have high blood pressure. God bless them. so
Yes, and Alex. Yes,
so when I was, and also I started looking up natural ways to preserve food. I spoke to a chef one time, and one time she just said, food is supposed to expire." So that's kind of the idea that kind of came behind it. Just thinking about as far as when I was putting things in it,
Mhm.
not being too salty, too sweet. So this was a labor of love, and I'm really enjoying vending, stepping outside of who I am, leaving that person behind, uh, and really doing the work behind this.
Well, the thing is, you're walking in purpose. So when you're walking in purpose, it opens enormous doors for you. And then that means that you're in alignment with that assignment that God has for your life. And then everyone will beg for this sauce you have and want to know what else you have. So it says that you're M sauce and more M sauce plus. So what does that mean? What else is coming down the pipe for you?
We
Besides
had
the seasoning, you said you were going to do seasoning. What else?
uh two so seasonings. I'm have more sauces coming, some vegan versions. So the other sauces are,
Wow.
yeah, they're cream based sauce. So I wanted to create a vegan version of that, because I don't want to leave anybody out. I have a thing.
Mhm.
I don't like leaving anyone out. Seasonings, and I'm thinking about putting the egg rolls that I create in the freezer aisle. Uh, that
Wow.
is that is the goal currently. So right now we're trying to focus on these sauces, try to get them in the store, and the more the merrier. When I sell out, that means I can do more. So
Right. So that process, the process of getting them to the store, I understand could be challenging. Is there a way that people that have experience and taste your sauce, is it a way? I mean, does it help if they wrote letters, if they wrote testimonials, or does any of those things help toward being able to get them in chains? And since you're in Jacksonville, I would assume, I don't know if you have Publix's or Winn Dixie's or Kroger's or any of those things.
Yes, they so one using the hashtag M sauce, we're trying to make a big basically go viral. That's what we're
Right.
doing. A big digital print because that gets their attention. Going to your local stores and asking for the manager saying, "Oh, do you have M sauce in there?" And then they're going to be like, "Well, what's that?" And so, the more the merrier. Especially with the digital thumbprint. So post people who have their sauces. I do appreciate the inboxes, but please hashtag it, make your videos. Yes, push it. So in that way.
Yeah, so this is what it looks like up close so that you won't
Yes.
mistake it. And when you see her at different venues and events, and so this is what it looks like. This is the logo you look for.
Yes.
Yeah.
M sauce. I like the way she says she'd be like M sauce.
Gotcha. And it looks absolutely delicious. For a man who's hungry in this very hour, I wish I could virtually inside of it. But I really want to encourage people because I think that's important. The whole hashtag, the whole testimonial. I always tell people, and keeping it to yourself doesn't help doesn't help everybody else. So being able to spread the word about it. Some of our next functions that we're having, good gatherings with family reunions, good cookout, and take it to work when you're having a potluck and those type of things there, and let it get if you would, the reviews of your coworkers and those that you work with. I think that's the way that we continue to push this forward, and we look forward to it. And your email, your web site address is there, so we're able to order it. And
Yes.
I'm quite sure. I don't know if you have any specials there when you order it. If you order 5 bottles, whether or not you get shipping free, or you get 20 bottles.
As of right now, there aren't any specials currently, but we probably will soon, being that spring is here. And on top of that, we have the limited edition bottles. So this is the same sauce as the everything sauce. It's just the limited
Limited.
edition. And for those, the first, because my grandpa's favorite number is 7. So the first 70 people who order the bottles, they'll get a special gift from Les Brown. So, but these are the original packaging. This is limited edition because once these bottles are gone, the Les Brown
They're
bottles are
all
gone.
gone.
They gone. They're gone.
Gotcha.
And
Gotcha.
one of the things, Michaan, is that Mother's Day is coming up. And
Mm-hmm.
mama's gonna be in the kitchen cooking, the daughter's gonna be in there cooking, and what better way for them to have baskets of these sauces in there. So, those of you that are interested in that, reach out to Michaan on her website. It's N Sauce, and you can be able to get a special order from her. It's
Yeah.
msauce.com,
Yes.
www.msauce.com.
You want to try
Where
this
did you come
on?
up at the name? Tell us about the name.
M sauce. It's funny. My name is Michaan. It starts with the M. So EM is basically M as in my name. And it came from my sister and I when we were younger, being silly. That was our rap names. It was M Semi and M Dot and M Semi. I'm M Dot. So that's
Okay.
where it came from. So,
And now it's msauce.com. And I like the spelling of sauce there, which is different as well. So it stands out. It's unique. It is derived from a special place, and it just needs a special place on our table and our cabinets and ultimately on our food.
yes. It's
And
really
I
good on
have
greens. So
On greens, okay.
yeah, the amped up sauce put up if you're a collard green man, like my husband, he put some on your collard greens. It's one, how I hear people say this all the time. I'm so tired of eating the same thing. This is not the same thing. It savors it. You're gonna
It's
like it.
different. It's different.
It's real different.
It is absolutely different. It does add a little zest and taste. I mean, it's if something is real spicy that you're eating, it smooths it over and gives it more flavor. Um, I my husband's going to have to do a testimonial for you because when you sent it to us before and we didn't get it, he was like, "Well, call her up and see what happened, maybe." And I said, "Okay, all right." So, and he's very picky. Dr. J, you know Alex is very picky.
Absolutely. That's why I said if Alex endorsed it, then hey, it's definitely safe for you to go with it.
Yes. And this logo is absolutely magnificent. I love it.
Love it.
So I know people are looking at this logo and say, "Oh, that looks like a nice design. I want to do a t-shirt." But you can't. She has it trademarked.
Trademark.
So if you want a t-shirt or something with this logo on it, you're going to have to go through Michaan Brown-Cross to get it.
Yes, we are trademarked. It cost a lot of money, but I did it. I am trademarked, and we will send a great cease and desist letter.
Yes. And it really does bother me when individuals will see something and they'll be like, "Oh, I can do that," and "I can do this better." But what's for you is for you. And it's going to grow because it is your assignment, it is your purpose. So I honor you and I salute you to keep pushing on and keep adding and bringing more stuff to us and empowering and encouraging not only women, but men who felt like, okay, I don't have enough money to get started, or I don't think I'm going to be able to take care of my family if I go out on this venture. Sometimes you have to step out on faith and do what you have to do.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm going to say this. I am going to definitely take tonight's show and I'm going to send it to my second oldest sister
Mm-hmm.
because she has product and food things that she does. She's absolutely incredible, but she needs that next step like you did. And I think this will encourage her to do so. She creates stuff that I can't even tell you how you come up with it. She just always have had that creativity. But what she hasn't had is that push to just go out and do it. I'm quite sure you're familiar with this saying that sometimes you have to leap and grow wings on the way down. May sound just familiar to you. And, and I think that's what I need to encourage my sister to do. And I know that sharing this will definitely motivate her to go for it.
Yes, tell her to call me. I'll tell her. It's when we vend. A lot of people stop and ask me, "How did I get to this point?" And I know that people, what's the word that people use? Gatekeep. There you go. And I don't mind telling them. I know people always like, "Oh, sign up for my class," but I don't mind telling them because one of the things that I do when I go down to the grocery store, I go through the condiment aisle, the sauce aisle. There's 100 different types of ketchup, different brands, and different barbecue sauces. And I know that eventually I'll be there, and all of those different brands and sauces, they all sell. So I don't have a problem sharing the information that I know so far.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I'm encouraged. I have the website, and if I don't borrow some from Dr. Val and Alex,
You won't borrow nothing from me. I'm sorry. Don't even say you can borrow anything.
I think I better go ahead and order my own. Okay?
Yes, you have to order your own because Alex is not even going to let you know he has any.
Yes. And the more you buy, then I can get different size bottles. So that's the big, people want jugs of it. And I just, unfortunately, not yet. Emphasis on yet. I haven't sold enough to be able to get the different sizes because one man told me he wanted a jug of it so he could bathe in it. I was just like, okay.
But it really is good. And this is, I hope is very inspirational for those that are watching. And, we must network and empower one another if we all want to get to the next level. There's enough money for everybody. So those that are listening and you have catering places, you can get some of this sauce here and add it to your menu. And those that have food trucks, this is a good add-on that you
Mhm.
can sell. So it's limitless. So when you sow into one person, that person will wind up sewing into somebody else and then somebody else, and then all the trail you leave, they will all sew back into you. So if you want to have friends, you got to first show yourself friendly, and in order to be friendly, you need to share what you have, you know support this business. We're grassroots nonprofits, and we have individuals on this show, and we push the individuals that we have as guests because we believe in them. You believe in us because you're watching the show. We want you to believe in our guests that we have and support them.
Thank
Absolutely.
you. Yes.
So, Michaan, it has been a pleasure having you on. Are there any closing remarks you will have for us?
Thank you for having me. This is my first on air interview, and thank you. And go to the website and my social media pages. I have plenty of content for ideas, and that's right there, msauce.com. These are limited edition bottles, and I'm just grateful for the journey. And I appreciate everyone who has already purchased a bottle and who will purchase a bottle in the future.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for being on the show. I appreciate you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. J, I am so excited about her. I mean, she has done a phenomenal job with this business. And, we like supporting individuals like her
Absolutely.
because of the fact that they're few and far between. There's so much going on here in the world. And especially with women giving up, because they're
Right.
overwhelmed with pressures, they're overwhelmed with different things that are going on in their lives. And we want to always encourage individuals. You and I both, we have nonprofits, and
Right.
we support and sow into use. I mean, every now and
Absolutely.
then I'll get some money and I'll just cash app like 10 people and
Yeah.
send, kids that are in school, because I want to encourage them to stay in school, because
Absolutely.
they feel like they're by themselves and nobody likes them. And with all these mass shootings and things going on, Dr. J, let me tell you something. I'm afraid for our children's children.
Absolutely. You're exactly right, Dr. Val, because we're living in a day and time, the things that we have to be concerned with now, we never had to be concerned with before. Our children just trying to get an education, just trying to go a place where, the center of learning, and have to be up under threat of someone coming in shooting. I went to work out at the gym this morning. I had this eerie feeling. I even changed
Mhm.
my position where I normally am. Maybe I don't want to be the first one so close to the door. Let me go further down, because people are dealing with things, and their access to guns and all those things are happening. And so we have to not only keep our kids, covered, and our grandkids covered in prayer, but we're going to have to exercise that fundamental right about voting. And we have people in power who don't give a care. They don't give a care. They continue to cloak behind this whole Second Amendment right. But listen, you don't have to have AR-15. You don't have to have all these assault weapons in order to protect yourself. These things were not meant to be carried by everyday John Q. public. And to think about children being murdered and killed and these type of things, no, no, no. We've got to raise up a new generation, like you said, give an opportunity, because I love when I come across young people who have an entrepreneurial spirit. They are
Right.
attempting things. I love sewing into them, because
Yeah.
I want to be on that floor to say, I remember when. I remember when, and to see it to come to pass. And that's what I'm looking to happen with MSauce. I'm looking to
Yeah.
be able to go in grocery store and go, man, yes, I remember when, and be able to purchase it, have it there at our cookouts and things such as that. So we have to support, we have to continue to lift everyone up, because the fact when we lift up others, we actually lift ourselves.
Absolutely, Dr. J. It is time out for us being selfish. We have to empower and inspire these minds, these great minds that are walking around, because so many people have lost their minds. So to
Absolutely.
empower individuals that are starting business and trying to make a difference in our society, we absolutely positively must support them.
Amen. Absolutely.
Okay. So, Dr. J, this is it for our show tonight. And I appreciate Michaan
Yes.
Brown-Cross for being with us and her website, www.msauce.com. Follow her on social media and support order. I mean, we spend $10 on a drive through on a hamburger.
Yeah.
And you supporting one, if everyone that tunes in buys a bottle, that could thrust her business into another level so that she can sew back into her business so she
Mhm.
can create more products. And remember, when you sow a seed, that seed is going to multiply for you when you need it.
That's right.
If you want someone to support something you're doing, you have to support somebody else.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
And this has been a great Women Empowerment Month. We have seen some incredible women as yourself that have done some amazing things, and we continue to encourage them. We continue to lift them up. We continue to be that person who is able to not only encourage them, but to give them a hand up. No one's looking for a hand out, but just a hand up. And I think that's what we have to do, continue to do so. And I applaud and I'm thankful for every woman that we've had on our show this month, and let's continue to make Women Empowerment Month every month of the year.
Absolutely. We have definitely had an amazing month. And I thank you for joining me, Dr. J, on these interviews that we've had, inspired individuals. And tonight, I want to say if this show has been a blessing, please pass it along to someone and share it with them so that they can be inspired and encouraged to live out their best life and support M Sauce. Good night and God bless.
God bless.